go into rhythms, okay, we've got 4 different pictures of different things that we are going to be putting in patterns to make different rhythms. So, we have an icicle, we have a snowflake, we have a hot cocoa, a cup of hot cocoa, and we have a frosty window. So, repeat after me. Ice, 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 ice.
Ice, 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 ice.
Snowflake, 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 snowflake.
Snowflake, 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 snowflake.
Hot cocoa, hot cocoa, hot cocoa, hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa, hot cocoa, hot cocoa, hot cocoa.
Frosty window, frosty window, frosty window, frosty window.
Frosty window, frosty window, frosty window, frosty window.
Good. Okay, so we're going to be putting these things in different patterns, like I mentioned, to make different rhythms, okay? So our first one is this one. So I want everybody to say snowflake ice, snowflake ice.
Snowflake ice, snowflake ice.
Good, let's say that 2 times through without stopping. Here we go.
Snowflake ice, snowflake ice, snowflake ice, snowflake ice.
Good, I want you to take your finger and I want you to tap that rhythm while saying it in your brain, not out loud, but tap it on your leg. Okay, the reason we're doing that is because we're going to do that a lot with the rhythms that we're going to see up in a little bit. This is one of the easier rhythms that we see, so it's good to kind of get a hang of the tapping now so that when it gets harder, you know exactly what you're doing. So let's try it one more time in our brain. 1, 2, here we go. Amazing. And all right, here's our next one. And before you say it out loud, I want you to tap it on your leg and figure out what you think it's going to sound like. Go ahead. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go.
Snowflake, snowflake, ice, ice. Snowflake, snowflake, ice, ice.
You guys are so smart. Okay, moving down to this one. No, we're not saying it out loud. We're tapping it on our leg. Go ahead. One, 2, here we go.
Ice, ice, snowflake, ice. Ice, ice, snowflake, ice.
Amazing. Moving on. Tap this one out. Here we go.
Snowflake, 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 ice. Snowflake, 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 ice.
Perfect, guys. Amazing. Now, we're putting both of them together. So go ahead and practice. Go. One, 2, here we go.
Snowflake, ice, snowflake, ice. Snowflake, snowflake, ice, ice. Ice, ice, snowflake, ice. Snowflake, 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 ice.
Give yourself a pat on the back. That was so good. Okay, now we're going to get a little trickier, okay? So, we're coming down here, and we're adding in our hot cocos and then our frosty windows, okay? So here, I'm going to help you out a little bit. We say, hot cocoa, ice, ice.
Hot cocoa, ice, ice.
Hot cocoa,
ice, ice. Hot cocoa, ice, ice.
Okay, make sure you don't say the ice too fast, okay? Ice, ice. 1, 2, here we go.
Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice.
Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice. Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice. Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice. Good. I'm going to zoom out now, and we're going to do both of those measures together. Okay. So this is what it's going to be. Go ahead and practice it. I like how I already saw people practicing. Okay. 1, 2, here we go.
Hot cocoa, ice, ice. Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice.
Hot cocoa,
ice, ice. Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice.
Good. All right, moving down. Guys, stop talking. Okay, so now we have our frosty windows. So we have frosty window, ice, ice.
Frosty window, ice, ice.
Frosty
window, ice, ice. Frosty window, ice, ice.
Go ahead and practice this last one on your own. Here we go.
Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice.
Good. Oh my goodness, guys, we should not even talk every time we're done. Okay, so let's focus on just looking at the bottom line here. Okay, so we're going to focus right here and say this whole bottom line. 1, 2, here we go.
Frosty window, ice, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice.
Again.
Frosty window, ice, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice.
Now, you know what we're doing. We're doing the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay, practice it on your leg. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go.
Hot cocoa, ice, ice. Snowflake, hot cocoa, snowflake, ice. Frosty window, ice, ice. Snowflake, frosty window, hot cocoa, ice.
Awesome! I'm going to be doing this winter worksheet, okay?
Alright guys, so I'm going to explain this Rhythm of Winter worksheet to you very quickly. You will find the link to this in your Canvas assignment, and that is where you can either print it out or you can use some sort of app to draw on it on the computer. Okay, so each one of these columns has 2 beats. Okay, so the first one is a quarter note and a quarter rest, which means that any of the words down in the word box below that only have one sound or one syllable will go there. So for example, we just did ice in our rhythm speaking, so that would go under the first column, ice, because it only has one syllable, one sound, okay? So the second column is going to be any of the words that have 2 sounds, okay? So that would be like snowflake. The third column is any words with 3 sounds, okay? But there are 2 columns. You'll notice that the third column and then also the 5th column both have 3 sounds. But in the third column, it is a quarter note and then an 8th pair, which makes the sound bum, bum, bum. The 5th column is an 8th pair and then a quarter note, which makes this sound bum, bum, bum. So, for example, if we were doing hot cocoa, that would go in the 3rd column because hot cocoa. The first sound is a little bit longer than cocoa. If we were to put hot cocoa in the last column, that would make hot cocoa sound like this, hot cocoa. And that doesn't really sound, that's not how we say that, right? And then on the opposite end, take the word Hanukkah. If we were to put that in the third column, we would be saying that as Hanukkah. But we don't say it like that. We say Hanukkah with the faster part in the beginning. So that's why it would go in the last column. Hanukkah would go in the last column. And then finally, any words with 4 sounds will go in that fourth column with the 2/8 pairs, okay? So that would be like frosty windows. So very quickly, the last thing that I'm going to do is just read all of the words in the word bank to you just to make sure that you know how they're supposed to sound, okay? So we have, starting at the very top in the top left-hand corner, cold, snow, snowman, winter boots, hot chocolate, hibernate, January, lights galore. Galore means like a bunch of. Lights galore. Lights are everywhere. Okay, so lights galore, frosty windows, mittens, snow flurries, Hanukkah, freezing, snowball fights, blizzards, Christmas carols, snowmobiling, Santa Claus, wind blows, ice skating, friends, Christmas Eve, sledding, and food. Okay, and so those are all of the columns. Please turn this in on through your Canvas page. If you are not able to print it or draw on it, you can always just write these in a text box and say which column they're supposed to go in, but it's best if you are able to print it or find a way to type on this paper. All right, guys, good luck and have fun. Also have a fantastic winter break. See you guys when you get back.